Aloha, friends. You want to listen to the birds or listen to me? That's what I thought. These are my columbine flowers in bloom here. Not really going to give you a tour of the garden today, but I mean, you can kind of see it, some of it here. We've got various things. I tell you what was interesting. I seen a bunch of white flowers in my lawn, and I said, what is that? Just a little clump of white flowers. So I went and looked, and the most beautiful little white flowers you ever looked at look like they're coming right out of some damn grass. So I said, well, I'm going to dig that little clump of grass up and find a home for them in my garden. So that's what I did. Now the flowers are closed at this moment, but here shortly they'll be open, maybe before I even finish this video. And they're just coming up out of that grass, what looks like grass. You would never know that that had beautiful, cool little white star-shaped flowers. So I don't know what it is, but I like it. This is my encore azalea. This won't just bloom once this year, it'll bloom like 3 times this year. Whereas all the others that you probably see around you right now are in bloom. They're the real hot reds and pinks and white, sometimes purple, maybe even more colors than that, but they're really cool bushes. They're kind of hairy. The leaves are a little bit hairy, and the stems a little bit hairy, the new growth. But anyway, so that's my encore azalea, and it's a bicolored one that's pink and white mixed. So every flower is different as far as the coloring. It'd be pretty cool. And then this weekend, in the background there, probably can't see it, but I popped some more plants, various kind of plants in, and then I got me a vegetable area where I've got okra, squash, different kinds of tomatoes, Wurzels, peppers, a couple of costa beans, and daylilies I transplanted. And anyway, let me get my chair set back up here. I'm in the old swinging chair. The hanging, it's like a net chair. Very nice under this willow oak. And, you know, thought we'd yap about duality. The interesting game of duality. Isn't it interesting? That if you decide to play the game of duality, then you have to pick a side of something, anything. And once you pick a side, you have an opposition. Now you have something to fight with. Now you have something to argue with. Could even be just your own self. Whereas if you don't pick a side, then you have no opposition. You have nothing to fight. And at first, I guess that seems impractical in this world. Oh, you can't You can't be in a dualistic environment and not participate. Oh, really? Seems to me that all the sages and the people we so-called look up to and repeat their teachings, they were pretty neutral. Doesn't seem like they were doing a whole lot of duality in their reality. And if you think about it, doesn't picking a side also have everything to do with beliefs and judgments? Because you're gonna, of course, if you pick a side, then you're saying with your actions, I believe something. I believe this side is the right side. I suppose there's a time and a place where we could say you would have to pick. I'm not going to go into what the scenarios could be because it could just be anything, but what I'm trying to point out is that that's really far and few between and very limited. But we do it all the time like it's a bad habit. Picking sides, building that wall, and then anything from that other side immediately gets you riled up. Even if it's just subtle, it's still taking you away from center. Because center and neutrality is where the most harmony is. It's where the most peace and harmony resides. We call that place the heart. The center chakra. Center of the being. And you notice, you either have noticed or you will notice that the more time you reside in your center, the more healed you become. And you even realize you are healing from things you didn't even know you had, wounds you didn't even know you had. Because duality makes you tough, right? Being on a side makes you tough or whatever, makes you right. I'm right because I picked the right side. Yeah, maybe. Well, for sure not, but maybe in your own mind. Until 10 years down the road, you've jumped completely across to the other side. And you think, oh, I was on the wrong side that whole time. Dumb me, stupid me. Now I'm on the right side, but you just did the same thing. And you'll go 10 years doing that. And then maybe you'll come to realize, maybe you'll accidentally end up in the center and realize how good it feels and how tranquil it is and how you're not expending all this extra energy and life force currency trying to make sure that everything on that opposing side stays out of your space, because they're your enemy or whatever. To be blunt and point blank, what is it really? What is all that? Really? It's you fighting with yourself It's us fighting with our own selves, because most of that shit's going on in your head, in your mind. And then it shows up in the external realm. Surprise, surprise. Imagine that. Until you finally have something to fight with or argue with or expend that energy on in the external, because it's coming right through you. So I believe my own affirmation. I've said it enough, meditated on it enough, and come to embody it enough that I now believe it. I don't know that I've mastered it, but I believe it. And so that's not coming through me anymore. Duality's not coming through me. I'm not a channel for it. I am a channel for the prime frequency. And when that comes through us, we experience in the external realm love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control, health, and money. In gratitude. So we're thankful for all that. We can channel all of that through us here in this dualistic realm if we master it, or if we will work on it, or work towards it, or work with it, and let it work through us. And I'm so grateful for that, because that means now I know I don't have to let all that other crap, work through me or come through me. Strife, division, arguing, lack of peace, whacked out beliefs, insecurity, frustration, and all that ends up being what in the human vessel? What manifests in the human vessel when we are channeling all that? You're right. You got it. You know. You know how this works. You do now. There was a time we didn't. We didn't know a damn thing about any of this, because I don't know how they suppress it so well, but they seem to do. Well, they did pretty good in the old world. In third density, they became masters at suppressing the true wisdom and giving us bullshit in place of it. And the TV was a huge tool they used to hypnotize the masses. But we're transitioning into the new world as we speak. A lot of the old crap is diminishing and perishing and disappearing, and it is creating a space for the conscious and awakened to bring forth your gifts, bring forth your abilities to recreate this world and or its systems, or make better ones, make ones. What if we had heart-centered, heart-focused institutions and stuff like that in place, where it wasn't always just about the dollar amount. We're trying to help people, but we don't really give a damn about the heart or love or compassion or the humanness of humans. We just care about a dollar amount. That's the bottom line, and so that's what we focus on. And in doing that, you totally forgot about the humans involved and the purpose for which the institution was created to begin with. And it just functions for people that basically will take advantage of it or, interact with it in that dehumanized relationship. And so therefore everybody says the system is broke, the system is broke. That's what they mean. It's become a dehumanized, inhumane system because it's always focused on the dollar and it forgot why it even existed or was created to begin with. So these things can be recreated, these things can be upgraded, these things can be made to function for the purpose for which they were created. And I believe they will, as the old crumbles away, as their density comes to its end, finally. Finally. Humans on this planet have been in third density consciousness for a long time. Hey, Squirrely. Come on over, Squirrely. I'm making a video, you big rat. Come on. I want to see Squirrely slinking over. See if I can do it. I can't see my screen too good. Here's that old rascal. Daddy's baby. I can't remember if there's anything left in their feed tray over there, but I do have a pocket full of peanuts. Daddy's got peanuts. She's getting camera shy. You big rascal, get on this camera, you big rat. Gosh, listen to the songbirds. It's just so beautiful. I just sit out here and soak it up. Commune with the Great Spirit. Tend my garden and my plants. Everything's watered, fertilized, and I'll give you a tour here at some point. We'll walk around and walk and talk plants. Sorry, I'm probably like looking at the clouds. I haven't been seeing too many quote-unquote chemtrails lately. I haven't been looking, but I really don't see a lot of trails around here anyway, but I have seen some. And yesterday was pretty much blue skies all day with nothing. And today's looking the same. I don't see a damn trail anywhere of any kind. But I don't know. I don't see, again, you have to believe shit. You have to believe. You have to choose to believe something. Are they spraying chemicals every time you see one of them trails? Or is it, sometimes it's a damn contrail and the weather is just right and the moisture is just right and the plane's at the right height or whatever, you know? It could be that sometimes too, I guess, right? It doesn't always mean you're being sprayed like a bug. But that's what you're supposed to believe if you get on that kick. And I'm not saying you're wrong if you're on that kick, but I'm also not saying you're right. See, I'm trying to really, truly find that center place where I can just be, you know what, it doesn't matter to me. It matters. It does matter, but on one hand it doesn't, because I'm not giving anything to it. Oh, that's going to kill you. It's going to do this and that. Well, it hasn't yet. I'm not sick. I feel great. So maybe it only works on people that believe it. What if all the shit that we've been thinking was all this stuff was really meant to just get you to believe it? They do something and they say, "Oh, this is what it is. This is what's happening. You're being sprayed with these chemicals." All right, well, you got to believe that because you can't prove it. I mean, yeah, you can take soil samples, and yes, we've found elevated levels of barium, strontium, and aluminum, and there's that whole thing. But I'm just saying, we can't go extremely right or left about anything, because then you're going to get into belief land, and some of the beliefs that you got attached to the couple of facts take you into this realm of bullshit, but you don't know it, and you think you're right, and you'll say, "No, I'm right, look at this dirt sample." Okay, but actually it was just in that area, and if you come over here to my yard and take the dirt sample, you don't find any of that. So now what? I thought they were spraying everybody. I thought it was everywhere. You see? So anything that you can't prove and verify for yourself, applying specifically to you, then you have to believe. You have to believe something. And I'm just not doing that no more. I just don't see the benefit in it. I think the center is much more peaceful and harmonious. Squirrel's being camera shy, so we'll take a look at the woods. Listen to the birdies sing to us. I was out here yesterday or the day before listening to this songbird, or these songbirds, and I was thinking, man, I wonder. Well, I've thought about this a lot of times. Like, what are they really doing? Are they talking to each other only? Are they specifically saying specific things like when humans speak? Or are they just harmonizing frequency? I don't know how to explain that, but like that's the best way I can say it. They're harmonizing the frequencies. And then I started thinking, well, why would they even need to be doing that? Oh, maybe it's just a natural thing that just comes with them. That's their gift, you know. They sing these beautiful songs. That's their gift. And what does it do? It harmonizes frequency. And who is it for? That's what I was thinking about yesterday. I was like, wow, man. I think these birds are specifically, and I know this sounds stupid at first, but let it marinate, that they're singing to me. They're singing for me. Because they could be a half a mile down the road and I wouldn't hear a thing of them. They could be anywhere else, right? But they're not. They're here. And they're singing, and they're beautiful. And see, we have a relationship. They know that I'm listening to them. And see, let's extend that out so everything's connected. So they know I'm listening to them. There's some sort of a connection between us. And then that extends further into the whole creation itself. There's a connection there. And then that extends further, to the oversoul the oversoul. There's a connection there, and then the oversoul extends further and has a connection to the prime source of it all, the origin point. So there's a connection there. So see how it comes down through the waves and layers to the man and where he is in the present moment, and does he know all of this? Does he have any remembrance of all of this? Can he get into that space outside of the matrix? Can he get outside of the matrix and find this place called Eden? And it is both a real place and it's also a mythical place. So it's mythical to some people, but it's real to others. Where are you? Well, my time's about to expire. Love, unity, and light. Collective consciousness. You're becoming healthy again.